Hey, good morning, everybody. This is Deming Bass. I am your Grow with Google trainer, and I'm excited to be with you guys here today for a great webinar. I'm on a little bit early. I always like to get on a couple of minutes early, and we have several folks that are on early as well. So for all of you that are on early, I always say you're the smartest people in the room. If you could do me a favor, and maybe you're not familiar with GoToWebinar, but go to the questions area and open that up. And if you could type in and just let me know you can hear me okay and you can see my opening slide. That's always the most important thing when you're doing a webinar to know, and everything should work great. And I've got Liz. Hey, Liz. And Liz, I'm going to unmute you in just a second to say a few words as well. One of the most talented chamber execs in the country. So, and just an all-around awesome person. So, also for you guys that are on while we wait, we'll give everybody a couple more minutes. If you want to, one of the things that we like to do is play around, and if you want to share in the question area, you know, what your business is, or maybe you're a nonprofit, or maybe you have a business or nonprofit idea that you're thinking about. And if you want to share that in the question area, I'll give you guys a shout out. And that also gives me some ideas. I might be able to give you some specific recommendation and ideas as we move through the presentation. And it's always fun to see the types of businesses and nonprofits that we have. So yeah, so we've got Jason is a personal chef. You might need a personal chef. That would be awesome. So welcome, Jason. We got Bailey with Covenant Security Surveillance. So everybody could use some security and surveillance. So Bailey, that's who you would want to contact. We've got, let's see, Tanya with Berry Business Systems. We've got Jessica with Sunrise Bookkeeping Solutions. Bookkeepers are huge. So welcome, Jessica. So we've got a lot of good folks here. And I know we probably have folks from all over the Southeast, but especially the Greenville area. And we've got Alim. Hey, how are you doing? Yeah. Yes, so Alim is, he has a cat in his lap. He says he's all about a personal chef. Yes, so Alim, you need to get Jason to cook you some, cook your cat some food, I guess. So again, I want to welcome everybody. We are right at 10 o'clock. I am a big believer in starting on time and finishing on time. And we've got Janet joining. She's also System Secure Alarm Company. So we got a couple of security firms here. So you guys are going to learn a lot. And everybody needs to go to your website and then get your security systems all locked down and in place. All right, so Liz, I'm going to come to you. I'm going to unmute you, and you may need to unmute yourself. And I'm getting ready to turn it over to Liz, but I want to say this before Liz hops on, is that I get to work with chambers all over the country and incubators and folks like Next Upstate, and I absolutely love the Greenville Chamber and the work that the chamber's doing there next, and you guys have an absolutely amazing leadership team if you're in that Greenville area. And if you are in that area and you're not a member of the chamber, you need to go join the chamber right after this, because it really is, I think, one of the best ways to grow your business, in addition to what I'm getting ready to teach you in terms of how to grow your business online with Google. So with that, I want to turn it over to Liz to say a few words.
Good morning. Thank you, Deming. Thanks everyone for joining us today. I'm Liz Horton, Senior Vice President of your Greenville Chamber of Commerce. I just want to remind everyone that we do host these Community Matters discussions the second and fourth Tuesday of each month to connect you with local, state, and national leaders. You can find past recordings as well as our upcoming schedule at our website, www.greenvillechamber.org. Of course, just want to remind everyone you can submit questions throughout the chat feature, and Deming will try to get to as many of those as possible at the end. And of course, today we are speaking with Deming Bass. He'll give a little bit more information about himself in just a few moments. But today he'll be teaching you about how to get your local business on Google Search and Maps. And Deming has been an official speaker for the Grow with Google program since 2017. And he is a longtime friend of mine, and I know you're going to enjoy today's session. So Deming, thank you so much and welcome.
Awesome. Thank you, Liz. Yes, so everybody, as we get started, a couple of little issues or housekeeping items is If you have questions, I found the best way to do this is for me to jump in so that we stay on time. But type in your questions, and I'm going to get to everybody's questions at the end. Also, stick around because at the end, I'm going to be giving you guys some special free Google marketing resources that are going to help you take your skills to the next level, even long after the webinar is over, as well as a link for $100 in Google Matching Ad Credit. And today is all about how can you get your local information on Google Search and Maps. And I'm going to be showing you actually how you can make money and actually how you can get customers and really generate revenue right from the search page and right from Maps through a Google business profile. And this is a follow-up on if you were on our earlier webinar, we talked a little bit about Google business profiles, but this is a deep dive into it. So if you were on one of the past ones where we sort of covered it a little bit and how to get started, stick around because I'm going to go in depth and show you how to edit anything you possibly want to edit, manage everything, and again, start actually making sales. A little bit, you heard Liz talk about, I've been a Grow with Google trainer since the start of the program in 2017. I was a former chamber executive. My background is marketing and branding. So I'm right there, right up the road from you guys. I was born and raised in Charlotte and was a chamber executive in the Research Triangle in Metro Atlanta. Was also Constant Contact's marketing director for the Southeast, if you're familiar with the email marketing company. And also I was a story brand marketing consultant globally. So I've worked with some of the biggest brands you've heard of and some of the smallest businesses you've never heard of. And now I run multi-million-dollar campaigns for chambers and nonprofits around the country. In fact, I'm actually coming to you from Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, right down the road. But I'm based out of Atlanta, and I absolutely love small businesses and nonprofits. And that's why I love being able to teach these webinars and share these webinars with you, no matter where you're coming from, no matter what your background is. This is not academic or theoretical. When you do the things that I'm getting ready to share with you, you will see results and you will get engagement with customers and you will definitely make sales. And the other thing that I love about what I'm getting ready to teach is that you can really knock out the bulk of what I'm about to share with you in about an hour. So it doesn't take a whole lot of time, and you can go in after the webinar and do everything that I'm getting ready to share with you. So today we're going to talk a little bit about, if you don't know about it, what is a business profile on Google? A couple of quick steps of how to create it. You can do this in about 5 to 10 minutes after the webinar, but this is the meat. And for all of you guys that you already have a business profile, stick with me because when we get down here, how to manage, and then I'm taking you on the tour. I'm going to show you the things you need to do that if you do them, you're going to stand out and your profile is going to show up above and be better than 80 to 90% of the profiles out there. And then again, we've got these great free resources I'm going to share with you at the end, including the link for the Google Matching Ad Credit. So first of all, let's jump in and talk about, so what is a business profile on Google? And it's interesting, we're actually going through a little branding change right now. It used to be referred to as Google My Business, but now it's just a business profile on Google, but essentially it's the same thing. And these business profiles are absolutely free for you as a business or a nonprofit if you have face-to-face interactions with your customers, okay? So, and it's designed to really help your information and the correct information show up when people are searching locally. So if you're in Greenville, all of those customers within that 30-mile radius of Greenville, when they're looking for you or they have an idea of what you do or your product or service and they want to go local, right? They want to go visit your place or they want you to come to them and meet with them. You need to have your profile updated and you need to take advantage of it and to use it. So you might have heard of the term search engine optimization or SEO for websites, right? This is local SEO, local search engine optimization for you as well. So essentially what it is, it's almost like a mini website that shows up on when somebody searches for your product or service or searches for your company locally. This is like a mini website that shows up right on the search page. Okay, this is what it looks like on a smartphone. I'll show you in a second what it looks like on a computer. And you get to upload photos. You get to upload up to 30-second videos. They can have quick links, so they can click to call, click to go to your website. You can add the pin placement in the map, so now people can get directions to your location. You can let people know your hours of operation, and customers can leave reviews, and you can encourage customers to go leave reviews, and we know how important that is. This is what it looks like over here on the right-hand side if you were to pull it up on a desktop or laptop. And again, you can see it's kind of like a mini website. But again, this is free. I tell everybody it's like free advertising too, and you'll see what I mean by that in a few minutes. It's all free, and you get to go in and you get to create and edit and manage all of this so that it's all accurate. And when people see that versus just a bunch of links on the search page, they're way more likely to think, hey, this is a reputable, like legitimate company. The other benefit is when you create this is if you want to show up on Google Maps, you have the ability to have that pin placement, so now people can get directions to your location. And then if they're searching locally and they're searching near you, your profile is going to show up there above other folks if you follow what I'm getting ready to share with you. And the other thing is that it looks great on all devices, and this is important because remember this, and also take notes. Make sure you're taking notes, even though this is a webinar, because when you take notes, that's how you remember. And when you write this down, but remember that over half of all traffic today and over half of all sales are happening on smartphones and mobile devices. So you want your information to show up right there when they're looking. And just think about your own experience when you're doing searches. You're seeing those profiles showing up. You want your profile to show up. Okay. So how do we get started? There's a couple of ways to get started. One is you can go to Google and you can search for your company or your nonprofit. And when you do that, you may see the beginnings of a profile, and look for this little button down here. It'll say own this business, claim it now. So if that is your business, simply click on that and you'll start the process for claiming it. And it'll take you through a step-by-step process to do that. But it's very similar to, there's a couple little differences, but very similar to what I want to walk you through right now for just a couple of minutes. This, though, is how any of you guys, this is how you can go start and create one from scratch. So any of you guys, this is brand new. You're basically going to want to just go to google.com/business. This is the page that you'll see, and you'll just want to click on the Manage Now button. So again, write this down, google.com/business, and this is where you can go immediately after the webinar today and get started. But I'm going to walk you through those initial steps. You click Manage Now, and then you start the process. One quick word though, as with all of Google's products, when you're going to create this, you need to be logged into your Google account because that's how Google will identify you as the manager of the business profile. If you're wondering what a Google account is, if you have Gmail, that is your username, you've got a Google account, and there's a password associated with it. If you don't have a Google account, you can go and create one for free by simply going to the search page and clicking sign in, and then you'll see a link that says create an account, so you can create one for free. But basically, when you're logged into your Google account, that allows you to not have to log in and out of all of Google's products, whether it's editing the business profile or going to Gmail or Calendar. You're automatically logged in. So let's get started. So when you go to that google.com/business, you'll simply start typing in your name, and you may see a drop-down menu of names. And if you see a name and that's yours, you want to click on it. Then the thing here is just make sure that your name is correct, and your name is the way you want people, the way people will identify with you. So make sure it matches up with your branding and your stationery and your business cards. Next, you're going to want to choose a category that best fits your business. Okay, when you're thinking about the category, and you may have several categories that you can be in, but hold off on that for now. I'll show you about how to do that later. Pick the one that best fits your overall category, and in this case, it'll be shoe repair shop, and we'll just start with that. You're going to be able to go in and add up to 9 additional categories later, and I'm going to show you how to do that. Next is going to ask you, do you want to add a location that customers can visit, like a store or an office? So this, you're going to want to check yes. If you want to show up on Google Maps, right? If you want that pin placement where people can get directions to your location, you're going to want to check yes. For all of you out there, you do not want to show up on Google Maps. Maybe you work from home and you don't want people coming to your house at midnight on a Saturday to do business. You're going to click no, okay? And we're going to come back to you guys in a second. But if you want people to get directions, you want that pin placement on Google Maps, you'll click yes and then click next. And then you're going to want to add in the address, the physical street address of your business. You can't add in a landmark or location like I'm across the street from X, Y, and Z. So you want to add that address. If there are multiple businesses there, you can click add line, and that's where you can add a suite number or office number as well. But just make sure it is the actual physical address, because again, and make sure it's correct, because this is how people are going to get directions to your location. Next, you're going to want to add a service area. It'll ask you, okay, so now you're going to show up on maps. Do you also go out and do you meet with customers outside that location? So if you do, click yes. If you don't, click no. And then if you click yes, you'll be offered up this screen on the right, which is, okay, add the areas that you serve. And you have the ability to add in cities, you can add in zip codes. So you can add in Greenville, South Carolina, you know, and the zip codes around that area. A lot of times we do recommend that you keep it somewhat tight. People are like, can I put it all over the United States? I'm like, no. I mean, you could, but that's going to defeat the purpose. Probably keep it legitimately with how far out you would go meet with customers. And again, oftentimes you're talking about a 30 to 40 mile radius usually of your business. Now, for all of you guys, a couple slides back, you remember you said no, you did not want to show up on maps. You'll basically be forwarded to essentially this page. And this is where now you can go in and put in the cities and the zip codes to show where you meet with your customers. And so what'll happen on your profile, you're not going to have the pin placement. People aren't going to be getting directions to you, but it will show kind of the area or the region where folks can meet with you. Next, then you're going to want to put in your business information. So put in your number and your website. And this is now going to allow people, they never even need to go to your website for the phone number. They're just going to click and be able to call you right there from Search and Maps. And then obviously this will drive them to your website. And I'll also talk to you, there is an option to get a free website. So hold that thought. I'm going to show you that in just a little bit if you're interested in that option. And then it'll say, okay, now we've got your name in here, in this case, Vince's Village Cobbler. Now it's basically going to want to confirm that you can manage the listing. You are going to be the manager from this point on. You're going to click finish, except you are not finished. Because then the second most important part is that Google needs to verify, now that you have your information in, Google needs to verify that you are a real business at that location, okay? And what they're trying to do, they're protecting you from a lot of crazy people out there trying to create fake businesses and spammy businesses out there. So the way that they verify, there's a couple of ways, but for most everybody, it will be by a postcard in the mail. So on this page where it says choose a way to verify, you'll see a postcard by mail. It will have your address in there already if you went ahead and put that in for the maps. So you just want to add your name or whoever's going to get the mail, but watch for the postcard. And it's actually more of an oversized envelope, like a perforated envelope. It's got a big old Google logo on the front. Do not throw it away. It says it takes up to 5 days to arrive. It might be a little bit longer, but watch for that. Do not throw it away, because when they mail that to you, there's going to be a verification code, little PIN number inside, that then you're going to go back to your profile, type that verification in, and then Google knows that you're legitimate. Now, for all of you guys who did not want to show up on maps, you'll be able to put in your address here. And at this point, your address is not going to show up on Google Maps. This is just, you're putting where you actually get the mail. Now, one quick point. If you use a PO box or you use like a UPS store normally for your business mail, you cannot put that in here to be verified. Google won't verify that because, think about it, Fake businesses can use that all the time. So the workaround for that is, again, I would put in your home address where you would get the actual physical mail for that postcard to arrive. All right. You also have the option, if your business isn't open yet, and we'll come back to this in a second, you can have it click verify later, and then you can still go through the creation of your account. So once you click that, again, watch for that postcard and do not throw it away. That's got your verification code. Now you're all good to go. Now, from this slide on is where you're really going to begin to differentiate yourself from your competition, okay? Because what I'm getting ready to show you now are all the different things you can do that, again, 80 to 90% of the businesses and nonprofits are not doing with their profile. And I want you to just remember this one thing, if you don't remember anything else, and write this down because it's how you remember. Remember, Google is nothing more than a search engine, right? So just like websites, just like the more content that you can put in that's valuable or helpful for your customer, the more keywords, the more great content, right? Your website will show up higher in the rankings. Same thing with your profile. The more helpful content you can put into your profile, instead of just creating it like I just showed you and then never coming back, the more you can put in that's descriptive and that is helping, it's going to help what your customers are searching for. You've got as much information in there. Your profile is then going to be more likely to be seen by your customers when they're looking for your information. Okay, so just really remember that. So that said, if you go in today, like right after this webinar, and you just go through the steps I mentioned, now you're waiting for the verification, okay? Meanwhile, all of you guys that already have a profile, watch, pay attention as I move forward, because this is gonna be a checklist of things you need to be doing that you probably haven't done, okay? But for all of you today that you create that profile, now you're waiting for verification. You may be prompted to continue. You can still go in today and completely fill out your profile while you're waiting on verification. And this is one of the first prompts that you're going to see, services, okay? So I want you to take a few minutes and go through and think about what are all the services and the words and the keywords I can use that does really describe your services. And again, remember, search engine, right? So think about it this way. If you know, you're a shoe repair business, right? And now you've gone through and I've checked off heel repair, and I've got that in my profile, versus another shoe company and they didn't bother to do any of this. And then when somebody types in heel repair, whose profile is more likely to show up? Does that make sense? So take the time, and it doesn't take long, take the time to add your services and then click save. Also, take the time, take 3 to 5 minutes to type in and write your business description. It's very short. You only have 750 characters. So you've got to get to the point right away. So the tip here is don't be too creative, don't be too clever, get right to the point about what it is you do, how it's of value to your members, and maybe a good call to action. So I love, this is very great, right? This gets right to the point. Repairs of shoes, bags, and beyond. Have your items repaired from anywhere. That's a value, right? Sets them apart. And then get started with a free quote via our virtual evaluation. All right, so this is a great example of a good business description. Next, again, don't be tempted to just start this and then leave today and then I'm going to get back to it, because a lot of people never do. So literally take 5-10 minutes, try to find some of the best photos, even if it's not the best, but just good photos of your storefront or your office or your products or your services and your logo, and just get 5 to 10 of those photos and just go ahead and add and upload those photos into your profile. When you do that, it's going to make you look more legitimate than profiles that don't have any photos or really bad photos up there, okay? Also, remember that you can go back and you can create, if you want, up to 30-second videos that you can post as well for your photos. So that'll make you stand out. And then basically you can continue and you can start looking at your profile while you're waiting for that verification. Now, this screen here, so this is what you'll get used to. This is basically your dashboard. Once you've started entering your information, once you've created your profile, even while you're waiting for the verification, this is what the dashboard looks like. So you can go in and edit and manage all your information here on the left-hand navigational panel. And this is what I'm getting ready to take you on a little tour of and show you all the cool things you can do, including literally selling your products and services. In the middle of the dashboard, you'll often find different recommendations or prompts or things to be thinking about that are coming from Google that will make your profile even better. So during COVID-19, we had a lot of COVID-19 recommendations and things and ways that you could communicate with your customers. All right, now remember, if you joined us a little bit late, you can type in your questions as we move through the presentation. I'm going to get to them at the end, but I do want you guys to screenshot this or write this link down. This is a great page that you are going to want to bookmark. And if you ever have any really technical questions or really complex issues that you need resolved, this is going to be the place to go for that, because you can literally type in your question and it'll take you through step by step exactly how to take care of whatever that issue is. Okay, so, and oftentimes it even has like video tutorials. And so a lot of times if you have those, you really need those in-depth and you need to see somebody actually figuring that out, this is going to be a great resource for you. But if you have any questions, definitely I'm going to get to them at the end. So now I want to show you a couple of ways you can manage your business information or your nonprofit information on there, as well as then start digging in deep and showing you all the things that you need to do to set your profile apart from everybody else. So there's a couple ways to edit your profile. You can always go back into your business.google, your dashboard that we talked about. Again, all of your editing, most of it is going to be happening over here, and I'm going to walk you through that. The other way, though, that you can edit your information, which is pretty cool, is if you're logged into your Google account. Remember we talked about that, being logged in? Well, if you're logged into your Google account, and this is kind of cool, you can do this after the webinar too. If you have your profile created, you can go in and you can type in your name of your business or your nonprofit in Google search, and you'll see the regular search page, and then you'll see your profile over here. But down here, after some of the initial results, you're going to see a little, almost like a pull out with this blue text. You can actually go and edit your profile from the search page. So you can edit it, you can create posts. I'll talk about that in a second. Add photos, encourage reviews, create ads, do all sorts of cool stuff. And you can do this right from the search page. And don't freak out, because nobody else can do this. Nobody else that's typing in your business, they're not going to be able to go in and edit this. It's only you, because again, Google identifies you as the manager of the business. So that's pretty cool. All right, so now let's jump into and dig into kind of the gold here that is what's going to set you apart, and also let you really understand how to make any edits, any updates, and again, do the things that 80–90% of the businesses aren't doing. So anytime you need to go in and you need to edit things like your business name or your category, a lot of these edits are going to happen right here in the info tab. Okay, so you're simply going to go into the info tab, and if for whatever reason you want to change your name, maybe you have a name change, you can go in here and you can change that name. Okay, then also you can go to the category. Now remember, when we created the profile, remember you picked your primary category that sort of best summarized everything you do overall. Well, now you can go in and you can identify and select up to 9 additional categories. So do that. I mean, try to fill out at least 9 categories that are legitimate, that really capture what you do. And again, remember, Google's a search engine. So the more you put in there versus your competition, the more likely your profile is going to show up when people are looking for you. Also, under the info tab, if your location is wrong or you move and you have a new location, you can go into the business location here and make the edits. Also, and this is a cool little trick, see back here, see the map, see where it says drag pin to reposition? Well, you can go in and literally drag that pin placement to where you want it to be. So this is really helpful. Again, sometimes there are little technical glitches. So if you put in the actual physical address of your location, maybe the pin placement isn't quite right there, right? It's there, but maybe it's not, for example, right at the parking lot that you want them to go to. Well, you can inch that over and put it exactly where you want it to be. The other thing that you can do here, remember the service areas, and maybe you just put in Greenville, South Carolina. Well, now you can go in and you can add, you can have up to 20 different locations. And again, the more specific you can be about the city or the zip code and the area that you serve, and you go and you serve people, the better. So again, go in and completely fill this out, all of the service areas that you're going to serve. And also under the info, for all of you guys that have office hours, and this is also important for you even if you work from home, don't overlook this, right? Because if you don't want people calling you at 11 o'clock at night, go ahead and you can, sort of put in the office hours of when you're taking calls. But go through and pick out all the days of the week you're open, all of the times of the day, and then don't stop there. You're also going to want to go through all of the different holidays that you would be, that people may not think you're open, like Christmas Eve or Easter or something like that, and go in and confirm when you're open. Now, once you've got your regular hours locked in and confirmed, you'll also have, and this is something we created during COVID to help with that, but depending on your business or nonprofit, you might still be able to use this. You can go and select special hours for things like delivery, takeout, senior hours, things like that. So if that pertains to you, that's a nice option for you as well. Also in the info area, you can create what's called a short name that has a custom link that will link. You can send this out and it'll people can click on the link and go directly to your profile. So it's a great way to just sort of easily promote your business profile. And you're basically going to go in and take your name and it'll cobble it together. That is pun intended. And it'll be preceded by a little @ symbol. So in this case, @ Vince's Village Cobbler, there's the short name. People will click on that link. It'll take them to the business profile. So a great way to promote it once you have it up and running and it's been verified. Also under info, if you ever need to go in and change your number, you can change your phone number. You can also add up to 3 numbers if you want to have additional numbers there. Also, this is where you would go in and edit or add your website URL. And again, I want to talk to you in a second. If you don't have one and you want one for free, I'll show you how you can get one through your business profile. Also, we're still in the info app, but take some time and select attributes. Again, this is something a lot of people skip over because they don't even know what an attribute is. I guess a fancy word. But basically all attributes is they highlight business details or information about you or your nonprofit that sets you apart from others or that helps you identify with maybe some of your target audiences. So for example, you could be a Black-owned business and that's an attribute. You can be veteran-led, women-led, but it's also things like, are you wheelchair accessible? Do you only accept cash? Do you only accept credit card? Are you family friendly, right? There's a whole bunch of attributes that you can focus on there. And then next, again, if you need to go back in and edit, we already talked about the business description, but description is going to be here. And keep in mind that your business description, you can change it from time to time, especially if there's a change in business like COVID, right? And hopefully we never have to go through that again. But if there's ever a disruption in your business and what you do, and you need to communicate to your audiences that, this is a great way to do that. All right, here, this is, again, still in the info area. This is, you remember going back to when you were creating your profile and you could verify later because maybe your business isn't open yet, but you want to go ahead and start getting this process started. Well, if your business isn't open yet, you would have clicked verify later. Then you go in, update all your content in here, and then go in here to opening date, put the date that your company is going to open. And then once you have that information in there and then you're ready to go, then you can verify. You can go back and verify and get that verified, but that's where you put in your opening date. All right, now these next few slides I'm going to show you how you can actually get engagement and actually generate revenue and get customers and profits, okay? So number 1 is here under info, you can actually set it up where people can book appointments directly from your business profile. Now think about that for a second. They're not having to search, they're not having to work at it, they're not having to hopefully stumble across your website. Then when they get there, they got to find out what the call to action is and figure out how to get an appointment. Here, they do their really quick search, your profile shows up, and bam, there's a link to book an appointment. Okay, how cool is that? So if you have the ability, if you have that, go ahead and add your link for the appointment, and then with that one click, they're able to book that appointment, again, directly from the search page and directly from Google Maps. Next, and similar to that, depending on the category of your business, right? When you created it and what you do, you may see an option down here that says bookings, okay? And bookings, very similar to appointments, it just allows people to book online classes or estimates and appointments. And it's going to be tied in with these third-party vendors. It's probably whoever you use. People are like, well, is my system going to work? I guarantee you, your system is probably going to be in here. So you can start that process and get that set up through the bookings link down here. Then this is one of the most valuable things you can do. This is where you really make money, is right up here, you'll see a link or a tab for posts. And posts allow you to share timely, real-time updates about your business. You could have done this in COVID. This is the examples here. But now that we're moving beyond that, these are the 4 different ways you can make posts. And this is where I really want you guys to pay attention right now, okay? Because this is where we're going to be starting to make some money, no matter who you are, okay? These are 4 types of posts. What's new is exactly what it sounds. If you want to promote, like maybe you're opening a new location, or you're moving to a new location, or you made a new hire, or you're launching a new product or service, you'll want to make a what's new post. And you basically go in and you can, in all of these cases, you can add images, you can add up to 30-second videos, you can add headlines, descriptions, and then links to whatever that call to action is going to be. So what's new is what's new. Products, if you have a product to sell, this is like free advertising for your product that shows up right on the search page and right on Google Maps without you paying a dime. So here you would go in, again, add your image or the video, add the title of your product, a description of your product, and look down here, you've got a buy now button, and you can link that to your shopping cart page or wherever people check out and purchase your product. Similar to products, you have offers. Add an image, have a headline, a description. You'll put in your time of your offer, the date of the offer. You can add coupons and discounts. And then for all of you guys that have events, same thing. You can go and publish your event and people can book their ticket or get their seat for their event. So how cool is this? Again, all this is free. Now, one quick point to make about posts. When you make a what's new post or a product post, it's only going to stay up on your profile for 7 days, and then Google will automatically remove it. And the reason they do that is that they want to encourage, fresh, real-time information. More importantly, they're protecting you from you and me from me, because they know there's a lot of people, you would go in, you're all excited after this webinar, and you go and you create a what's new, and you just hired somebody this week, and you announce them, hey, we hired this great person. And then you go in and you put a product up there, and this is for sale, and here's how much it costs. And then you never come back into your profile again and ever update it. And then what happens? 2 years go by, this person is still up as a new hire, except you fired them 2 months later and they've been gone forever. Or this product, you've been out of that product forever, or the pricing has changed, but people are still trying to click to buy it. So you can see the frustration that would cause. So these will automatically drop off after 7 days. So get into a habit, write this down, folks. Get into a habit. A great best practice is to post, especially a product, but get used to posting something maybe every week or every couple of weeks, and that's how you're going to start selling your products and your services. Your offers and events, these will stay up until the date the offer ends or the event happens, so you can keep those up. Okay, the photos tab, we already talked about this, but if you ever need to go in and add photos, you can see the photos tab right down here. Again, a couple of just best practice tips with your photos is just make sure they look good, they're well lit, because remember, this is the first impression of your business and your products and services. You can include a logo and a cover photo. And again, try this out. Go, shoot a quick little 30-second video, post that. That is going to really help you connect with your audience, and it's going to be a little bit of a wow moment, and it's going to make you stand out above and beyond the competition. Now, remember, we had bookings already, so people can book, people can set up appointments. Well, depending on your company and your category, you'll have this tab where you can showcase your products. So you can, and this is what it looks like over here on the left, Vince's Village Cobbler. You can see the weather guard. So they have the images, you had your images, a little description, and then a call to action. They can click to learn more. Right? So you just simply drag and drop your photo in, put in your product name, category, put the information in there. So again, people are learning about, finding out about your products, taking that next step right from the search page and right from your profile or on Google Maps. So that is going to help all of you guys out that are the product companies. Services, you'll also, if you're a service-oriented business, you'll see services. So very similar, you'll go down here, services, and you can add your whatever the service is, in this case heel repair, add in your price, add in the description, and then you'll have that call to action. So again, people are taking advantage of your services. So I'm hoping you see, hopefully all these light bulbs are going off in your head about all the different ways that you're going to be able to really start getting customers in ways that you've never been able to do before, in addition to your traditional websites and all of that. All right, speaking of websites, and I've been teasing you a little bit about this. So you do have the ability to get a free website through your business profile. And let me explain how this happens. You'll look down here at the bottom, you'll see the little tab that says website. When you click on that website, and again, as you've been putting in all this time, your content and your information for your profile, what Google is doing down here is they're pulling all that together, and they've created a template of a very basic, simple website for you based on the information you put in. So for example, right, you put in your company name, well, Vince's Village Cobbler. You put in your hours of operation, and it'll say open today till 6. You put in your location and your category, well, it'll say shoe repair on site in New York City, right? You put in your telephone number to call now. You put in your address to get directions, click to get directions. And then if we were to scroll down, you'll see even a stock image of shoes automatically pulled in. And then, so you can take a look at this, and it's basically built for you, but then you can go in and edit any of this if you want. So see over here where it says themes in the middle, themes and edit and photos. Well, themes is where you can go in and change the color and change the font if you don't like the font. Text, you can go and edit any of this text. There's also body copy down here that you can type in and edit. And then if you have your own photos you want to use instead of the stock images, you can use your own photos. But isn't that cool? So it's a very simple, basic website if you don't have one and you want to get started. And then when you create that, it's a free website. And so you would go in and create the name based on your business. And the only thing that's different between this website and then the others that you would pay for is going to be the ending here. So instead of a .com, .edu, .gov, it'll be .business.site. Okay. So your name, .business.site. And then, but if you want to, you have the option, if you want to buy, the URL, you can go to Google Domains or GoDaddy, and you can buy that as well. And then you can forward that link. If you already have one, you can forward it to this website or vice versa. But anyways, that's how you get a free website for any of you guys that might want to try that out. Now I want to highlight reviews. So this is the reviews tab, and how important are reviews in today's age, right? That social proof. So this is where you can manage and respond to reviews. So you'd click on reviews, and the thing to remember about reviews is anytime somebody leaves a review on your profile, you'll be notified immediately. And I want you to immediately go and respond through this link and let them know how much you appreciate it. Thank them for the review. That's going to build great customer loyalty. They're going to be more likely to talk about you to their family and their friends. But here's a great way to grow your reviews. It's not rocket science. What you can do is basically right now, think about who your top 10 best customers are, or maybe friends or family that have done business with you. And I want you to write down their names. Go ahead, start writing them down. You can finish it later. You can even write down just the first name, but write down their names. And then I want you to make a concerted effort this week, or once it's verified, to ask them to go, let them know, hey, you've got a new business profile up. Would they mind taking 1 second to go and leave a review? And then the way Google has made this easy for you is you remember that short URL we talked about earlier? Well, when you take your short URL that you created, your little short name, you can add this g.page / put in your short name / review, and that link will take them directly to where they can leave the review. Okay, so not just your profile in general, it'll take them directly to how and where they can leave a review. And so again, if you have 10 people that do that, that's 10 reviews. And then just every time you have a great customer experience, ask them in that moment to go leave a review, and set a goal for trying to get at least 30 reviews. And you will be shocked if you were to go after this and just test me on this. Look around at all the small businesses, and you will see most small businesses don't have a lot of reviews. They might have 2 or 3 or 4. They don't have a lot. So if you have over 30 and they're all 4 or 5 star reviews, you are set up for success. This is a great way to do that. Okay. Also down here, see messaging. Messaging, if you can download the Google My Business app onto your phone, and it's all free. When you have that app on your phone, you can set up text messaging. So you would go here in messages, you'd set up your little autoresponder. Now on your profile, in addition to click to call, click to go to the website, click to get directions, there'll be a messaging option. So they click messaging, you can see it here on the top right, then your message comes up, hey, how can I help? Then they text you, and then you text back. And they're not going to see your numbers. They can't stalk you. But this is great for any of those real quick appointments, and you want to just communicate real time with your customers. Really great. You can also always turn it on and turn it off. So if you're getting too much information, you can always turn that off as well. And then down here at the bottom, we have a users tab. So if you're hearing all this and thinking, Devin, this is great, but well, do I have to be the one to do all this? I got to run my business. So if you want to, you can delegate out some of the work. So if you're the one that goes in and creates the profile, like you see Vincent right here, you are the primary owner. That means you can do everything on here, including shutting and closing down the account and transferring ownership to somebody else. But you can add other people that can be co-owners or even different site managers and owners. You give them this classification. You give them these duties. So co-owners can basically do everything you can except close down the account or transfer ownership. And the managers are even more limited. So maybe you have a marketing person, and Alessandra is like, I want you, give you the ability to update photos, respond to reviews, and make posts, for example. Those are the 3 things that Alessandra will be able to do. So you'll assign them a role, and then you basically just type in their emails. When you hit add users, type in their emails and submit it. They accept it, and now you can delegate that, and they can help you with updates. So everything I just showed you, if you do all of that, then I want you to come back in about a month. I mean, you can do this right away, but come back after 2 or 3 weeks, and for fun and kicks and giggles, but also this is how you can measure your marketing. I want you to come back to this Insights tab. And the Insights tab here basically shows you, because once you have this set up and it's verified, it's collecting all the information. You're seeing how all of your customers are engaging with you, okay? So in this case, you're seeing a report that shows direct, discovery, and branded searches. What that means is, and this is pretty cool. So you can see there were 65,642 searches for their products or services or something for Vince's Village Cobbler, where when they did the search, they actually saw the profile, Vince's Village Cobbler, and they engaged with the profile in some way, right? They clicked to get directions, they went to the website, they called, they looked at a photo, any type of action. So then it's breaking it down by direct. What that means is these are all the searches where they were searching for Vince's Village Cobbler. Then they saw the profile and they immediately engaged. Discovery are all the people, that's blue, all the people that search for cobbler near me or shoe repair, things like that. And then they saw Vince's Village Cobbler's profile and they engaged. And then branded are all of the different, like anytime somebody was searching for a specific type of shoe or brand of a shoe, like Nike or Soul Repair, Nike Soul Repair, something like that. So that's when they saw the profile and then they engaged. So this is helpful. But also you can find out all of this information, lots of information. You can find out what are the search queries, right? What are the words or the phrases people were searching for? Then they saw the profile and then they engaged. That's going to be helpful for you. What did they do when they found you? Did they look at the photos? Did they get directions? Did they call? And this is cool. You can see actually, and again, this is how you know you're getting business. You'll be able to see all of the calls you got in a week. And you'll even see what days of the week they called, what time of the day they called, so you can start looking at trends. Direction requests, if you're set up on maps, it actually has this really cool heat map where the darker areas around your city show where most of the people are getting the directions and where they're coming from. And you can see the engagement of the people that are liking your photos and just among lots of different things that you can do. So it's really cool. So that's how you're going to be able to track and measure your success with your profile. All right, so wrapping it up and getting to your questions, here's your homework assignment, okay? Because you got to do, you can't just learn, you got to do. So for all of you, if you don't have a profile, go to google.com/business right after the webinar and start that process. You can claim or complete it based on what I shared with you today. And then request that postcard, watch for it. It may not be 5 days. That big Google logo, watch for it. And when you get it, sign back in, enter that verification code, and then you're going to be all official. In the meantime, though, don't just wait around for that. Go in and do all of those things that I just shared with you. And then make it a habit of going in and updating it, you know, once every week or a couple of weeks. Make sure, I really highly recommend making the post every week or every couple of weeks. Add those photos and videos, and again, update those on a regular basis. And then after 2 or 3 weeks or a month, go into Insights and just start looking and learning about how customers are finding out about you, and then figure out how you can use that information to make really smart marketing and business decisions. So as promised, I've got some really cool free resources for you guys as well. This is one of my favorite resources for anybody that's involved in business in any way. It's our free app called Primer that you can download to your phone, and it's fun, interactive, bite-sized lessons, marketing and business lessons, I mean, across the board, and these are awesome. They're 5 minutes or less. When you have a couple of minutes, you know, watch these and you're going to learn a lot, and it's just going to make you a better business person and a better marketer. Also, if you're like me and you need to see, I want to see somebody actually create something, I want to watch somebody do it. We have on YouTube, if you go to YouTube and you look for quick help videos, Google quick help videos, they have videos that will show you, for example, somebody going in and creating their business profile. So you'll see exactly in real time somebody doing that, what I just shared with you and showed you. Lots of really cool videos in here and tutorials that'll help you out as well. But again, this is the page if you have any of the complex questions, and this is designed specifically just for business profiles. So almost any real technical question that you're going to have, you're going to find that here. And then finally, and I'm going to open it up for questions, I just want to thank you guys for joining us. So again, this is the access for $100 of free Google matching ad credit, and a little link that you can use here. Always looking for success stories from local businesses. So if you have a success story with any Google products, let me know. We share that with our marketing team. And if any of you guys ever need any help with anything related to Google or digital marketing or anything like that, I'm always happy to offer Google partner recommendations. These are firms that have been vetted by Google, but I really do encourage you to go to the Greenville Chamber, go to the membership directory and look for maybe local digital marketers that you have there. Make sure you vet them. But I'm a big believer in using chamber members and using local folks as well. And again, you guys have an amazing chamber there. And definitely lean in and take advantage of that. So with that, I'm going to open it up for questions. And also, while I open it up for the questions, if you'd like, I always like to ask this too. Let me know, you can type in the questions too. Did you learn a lot and have fun? And what was the one aha or wow moment you learned that you're like, yes, I'm going to take and I'm going to do that? I love to hear that. And also make sure that it was presented in a way that you understand, right? Sometimes this stuff can be technical and boring. I want to make sure that I'm sharing it in a way that you can actually understand, know that you can do it, and then go do it, because you've got to actually do it. You can't just learn it, you got to do it, in case you didn't know that, in order to move the needle and make things happen. So I'd love to hear that feedback too. You can type that into the questions. And then, so jumping it on in. And yes, and we have Laura from the Next team. I mentioned Next early on as one of the co-hosts. If you guys are in the Greenville area, go look at Next Upstate and look at all the great things that they have for entrepreneurs and angel investing, and just really, they've created a great environment for small businesses there in the area as well. So Laura, thanks for joining us. And then we've got, let's see, and then India is asking a couple questions. You need to know how to get to the services area because you already have a business profile or business page. So what you would want to do, India, there is you need to go back and look at, if you already have a profile, what was your category? And then you should be able to look down. If your category is service oriented, you should be able to go down and find the services tab. And if it's not a services category, it may be a different category, so you may not have that option for services if you're not a service oriented business. But you can go to the support page and you can look at that, and there may be some ideas there of how to get a good workaround there. And then to add the pay button, now this is going to be something, if you have a pay button, you're going to need to handle that on your side, like on your website or your e-commerce page or however you have that. And then all you need to do there is when you are creating, for example, the post, if you're using the post, you would just have that link to that call to action button directly to your website. And Tracy is saying, so Tracy was saying that you were trying to go back and fix your attributes, but you couldn't. So with and can you customize attributes? Right now, you would need to use the attributes that are in there. You should be able to, again, go to that attributes tab, and either check off or delete attributes or add attributes. That should not be an issue. Let's see. India is asking, do we have to buy the domain in order to use the free website? No. So when you go to the website, that's where I was saying you can create your, so let's say it's India. India would be your name of your business. It would be india.business.site. And that would be free. And once it's set up, that would be the link. That's would be what, and when people would click on that, they would go to that free site that was created. You only buy a domain name if you wanted like india.com.edu, something like that. And then you can have, when people click on that, you can have it forwarded to that website that was created for you. And Anne-Marie, yeah, great question. So I am going to send to everybody a copy of this presentation. Since you guys were on it today, I'll send you a copy of the presentation and a recording. So I'll get that to you. It might be tomorrow, but I'll definitely get that to you. And Laura, great. Thank you very much. Easy to understand, lots of good tidbits. And then, okay, Crystal, this might be your issue. So Crystal's saying, I'm locked out of my Google business page and I don't know how to get in. Try this. This happens, this is like 99.5% of the time. This is good information for everybody else. If you ever get a message and you're locked out or they won't let you in to edit it, one of the things that causes that is, you remember I talked about the Google account? You have to be logged into your Google account. Well, if sometimes you may have multiple Google accounts, okay? And if you go in and you create your profile today under one Google account, remember, that's how it's assigned to you. But let's say 2 weeks from now, you want to come back in, you want to make edits, but you're in a different Google account, it'll say that you can't get in and make edits because you're in a different Google account. So Crystal, check, and you can check in the top right-hand corner of your screen what Google account you're in. See if you switch to another one, and that oftentimes solves the issue. So good question. And then Janet has, so Janet has tried to update the profile, but could not get the address to update to receive the postcard. There is a previous address listed, and this is, you assume this is where the postcard's being sent. How should this be handled? I assume it has to do with confirming we are business owners and allowed to make these changes. Janet, I'm going to send you. So number one, you can go to the support page and type that in. I'll take you through kind of the step-by-step process. I'll add a link when we send the email out that will maybe help you through that as well. But there's a couple of different ways here. If you're able to go in and access your profile, you should be able to update the address in that through that address link that I mentioned. But I think what you're saying is it's never been verified because there was a previous address and the postcard is being sent somewhere else. So I think that is the process. So there is a process to follow to get that postcard sent again. And again, that's where you can go to the support@google.com, go to that business link, and basically put in there that you need to get a new postcard verification, and they'll walk you through the steps to do that. Let's see. Yes, Beverly, you'll get a copy of the PowerPoint recording. Absolutely. And then Latanya, we don't have that access to the previous presentation, but watch for, we'll send you, you'll probably get an email with some other webinars coming up that will have those, and you'll be able to watch those. They're all free. And Crystal, yep, sending you the video. Yeah. So Aleem, yes. And this is a great point. For those of you guys also in Greenville, we talk about the benefits of the chamber and Next, and also they're great SCORE chapters. If you've ever familiar with SCORE, SCORE. And they offer free mentoring. They have business leaders that can help mentor your business. So lots of great resources there. So definitely take a look at it. It's great to see you, Aleem. Let's see. And then, yep, so great, Janet, perfect, thank you. Anne Marie is saying, so Anne Marie's asking, I'm not sure I understand the question. I might need but it says you type in mydomain.com to get to my website, but once there, the name in the address bar is a little different. I'm not sure. That might be something you would need to talk to domain.com about that. So yeah, these are good questions. Dottie, let's see, what do you do if someone else tried to claim your listing or it has been done twice? Ours is a common name, but the only one registered with the state. Well, if you own it, they're not going to be able to claim your listing. And if you're contacted by Google, somebody trying to claim it, you let them know that that is your profile and you are the legitimate user. And Liz, yeah, this is great. And Liz, I'm going to open it up real quick and see if you have a few final words, because I know you've got some cool stuff coming up too. But yeah, the Greenville, in addition to SCORE, the Greenville area, the Small Business Center, the SBDC is also a great resource for you guys as well. So I'm got to find Liz. I'm unmuting you now if you want to say a few final words. And then I want to thank you guys for joining us, and hope you learned a lot. And hopefully we'll have some hopefully some other great webinars in the future for you guys as well. So Liz, I'll let you wrap it up.
Thank you so much, Demi. We really appreciate you being with us today, and we do hope to bring some future Grow with Google webinars later this year, so stay tuned. I want to thank Next for partnering with us on this webinar today as well as our last one. Just want to remind those of you in the Greenville area that our next Community Matters will be on August the 5th, and Dr. Burke Oyster, who is Superintendent of Greenville County Schools, will be talking about the upcoming school year and what that will look like. Registration is now open on our website at www.greenvillechamber.org, and we do hope you will join us then. In the meantime, let's all do our part to care for our communities, and I hope you all have a great week.
All right, thanks, Liz, and thank you all for joining us, and look forward to seeing you on future webinars, and best of luck with marketing. Watch for the presentation and the recording. We'll try to get that out to you today or tomorrow. Thanks, guys. Bye.